Good morning. Clear my throat. Good morning, my lovelies. As promised, today, Unique is doing story time. And I like to call the story time Quarantine and Heal. There's a lot of women like myself, and I'm praying that my story touches someone, helps someone to not be as angry as I have been almost all my life. I was a very, very, very angry woman because I was a very, very angry little girl. Well, with story time, I'm going to let you in to my childhood. And it's not going to be easy. I went through therapy and I still cry about it, but it's okay. I'm going to share my truth with you guys so that I can help someone that may be feeling how I'm feeling and help them come out of how they're feeling. Um, this is a story about a little girl, and I was had by a little girl. By the time my mom was 16 years old, she had two children, of which she had by a 27-year-old man. And by those standards, that's statutory rape. Um, my mother had me, and I will never forget the story that she told me when I did get to meet my mom when I was grown after 18 years. She told me that the day I was born, that she seen glory in my eyes, so she named me Gloria. And there is glory in my eyes. Um, I was taken away from my mom by my dad. And I spent 12 years of my life being child molested by my own father, my blood father. Yes, a lot of people be like, your own daddy? Yeah. Um, I thank God I don't look like what I have been through. My dad, my memory is short. Why? I don't know. All I can give you guys is truth here. I remember as a child having this dream over and over and over about a baby crying, but she wasn't crying for a person, she was crying for a smell. So I take it that I was crying for the smell of my mother. Um, and in that video that I would dream, the little baby was crying and crying and crying. I believe I was about 9 or 10 years old. I'm snooping through my dad's room, smoking on his roaches, and I'm going through his DVDs, trying to find one of his porns. Let's keep it real. Let's know this is not going to be one of those story times where we lie. So I was looking for one of his porns. I was a molested child looking for porn at 9 years old. That's the truth. It started at a young age. And this is from years and years of generational curses that all the way led up to me that I refused to take into my life and my children's lives. So I'm going through his videotapes and I see a tape that says Gloria 1980. I popped that tape in. And the dream that I've had for several years, up until I was 9 years old, was right there on that tape. That baby that I dreamed of crying, being in pain, was me. So I'm watching this video, and my dad takes a test tube, but you put blood in. I'm a 2-month-old baby. And he sticks that test tube in me as a 2-month-old baby. I can remember that. The pain. This is not a pretty story, but it's not a oh, feel sad for her story. This is a story of triumph. because I look nothing like what I've been through. I learned at an early age how to manipulate men through my father. I've never really had a real father. A father is supposed to protect you, love you in the proper way, and I just didn't have that. My dad was a sick kind of person, and everybody thought my dad was this big man. He had all the money, June this, June that. So nobody dared to go against my dad, even when I would give them hints that my dad was molesting me. I had aunts and uncles that were afraid to approach my dad about molesting me. Oh, because he bought them cars or he did this. My own grandmother knew what her son was doing. Now, a lot of my family may not agree, but I know what I went through. I know my truth. I'm going to finish this truth. I learned at an early age how to manipulate men. And it's become a very bad trait. It became a very bad trait in my grown life. My dad used to do what he called nibbles. He wanted nibbles. He wanted to suck on my breast. So if I gave him 10 nibbles, he would give me a $10 roll of quarters. Okay. My dad also had, those names would not be revealed, stepchildren, stepdaughters that he was molesting. And he would give them rolls of quarters. So when I would see a roll of quarters from one of my stepsisters, I knew where it came from. And I knew why they had it. Very disturbing. Okay, whenever I would want something, when I learned that what my dad was doing to me was wrong, this is when I learned manipulation. And I learned manipulation in a very bad way. I wanted to go to the skating ring, Lockwood skating ring. Everybody, if you know the North Side, you was young, you knew about Lockwood skating ring. I wanted to go to Lockwood skating ring. And I told my dad, I said, if you don't buy me a 6 for 20 and 240s, I'm going to tell them people you playing with my pussy. That's how I told my daddy. No lie. My dad told me, oh, we going to play these games. Yeah, that's how we finna play these games. Because I know now what you're doing to me is wrong. How did I learn that? I learned that from the DARE program in elementary. Remember the DARE program? And they started telling us that family members shouldn't touch you here and there and there and there. So I learned that from the DARE program, and I wanted to put it to use. So I started manipulating my dad for what he was doing. And he bought that 6 for 20. He bought them 240s. Me and my stepsisters and my friends got dropped off at Lockwood skating ring. I wanted to go to Six Flags one day. Hey, I want to go to Six Flags. You gonna take us to Six Flags, or I'm about to tell them people that you're messing with me? That was a really evil way to get what I wanted as a child. A child. I didn't ask to have a twisted and diabolical mind as a child. I just learned how to get what I want because I wasn't living the life I should have been living. I didn't grow up with the type of love that some of you grew up with. I grew up with twisted, tainted love. And it's affected me a lot of my grown life. I started dating men way beyond my age. A lot of girls don't want to admit that. You know, I was 12 years old dating a 21-year-old. I was 15 years old dating a 34-year-old. Did those men know better? They knew better too. They're no better than my dad. I won't call them out. But Yes, it started taking a toll on my grown life. So I had to get some type of help and therapy. I lived with my dad. I lived with my grandmother and my dad for a little while. And then when my dad decided to move out with my grandmother, I was so terrified because I knew that things were going to get worse. So my dad moved and I moved with my dad. And it got bad. It was like every time I heard keys jingle, my dad had packed a lot of keys. Every time I would hear his keys jingling, I knew he was coming home or coming in my room. I love my dad. Still to this day, I love my dad. I struggle with, is that okay? Or does that make me sick-minded? Because I still love the man that was not right. So I kept on loving men that wasn't right. I had no business at 12 years old being with a 21-year-old sexually active. I had no business at 14 years old being with a 37-year-old man sexually active. Yeah, I'm fighting these tears because I'm a strong girl. I'm not a crier. But this is quarantine and heal. And I want anybody that's at home and that may have been through a similar situation as me to heal. And realize how some of these childhood lifestyles may have traveled into your grown lifestyle. So I learned how to manipulate and date men that I shouldn't be dating, laying up with men I shouldn't be laying up with. By the time I was 14, I was stripping, continuing to manipulate men with my body because that's what my dad taught me, that my body is what meant the most. That's what he cared about, being able to play with me. And that's how I got attention, from him playing with me. And that's how I got attention. My daddy didn't play with me with Barbie dolls. My dad didn't play with me with toys. He played with other kind of toys. Excuse me. And I lived that life. When I got tired of living that life, my auntie, I'll never forget her. The only one bold enough. She followed the Lord. The Lord told her a lot of things. This is what my auntie picked me up from elementary school one day and told me. And she asked me, was my dad touching me in places that I didn't need to be touched? And at that point, like I said, I just ran into the DARE program. And I told my aunt. I told her everything. But I didn't know that my aunt, and at this time I was 11 years old, I didn't know that my aunt was going to get very, very angry as she did. And she called the police when I got home. They notified Child Protective Services. We had about 15 cars of laws at the house. And I knew then that they were coming to get my dad. I still, to this day, struggle with forgiving myself for what I did to my aunt. I was just a kid. I really didn't know. I was confused. I love my dad. And they were coming to take my dad. And when the police asked, did I tell my aunties those things that I told her? You guys, I lied. I lied. And I told them that I didn't tell her that and that she was lying. Um, I knew I hurt my aunt because she was trying to help me. I knew I hurt myself. At that point, my dad moved way to the north side, away from the family. Things got worse, worse, worse. Um, it got to the point to where he was having full penetration of sex with me. And the first time, I was 12 years old, you guys. It hurt really bad. It hurt very bad. Um, Bear with me. So at that point, I didn't want to take it anymore. I couldn't take it anymore. But I felt like I had put myself in that position because I lied on my aunt. But I didn't want to be taken away. So I ran away. Um, and it was hard. I used to sleep at bus stops. I finally went back to my grandmother's house one day. My auntie was there. And she convinced me, to go to Child Protective Services. She was going to try to help and get me. But I didn't know that my dad and my grandmother would be able to prevent that. So my auntie wasn't allowed to get me because they said they didn't want me with her. So I stayed in the system because they said I was a rebellious, lying child. The first home I went to, I won't call the place's name out. When I got there, this is in Child Protective Services, you guys. When I got there, I guess they really didn't screen the homes back then, and I don't think they do now. The girls there were running away, and I'm wondering why they running away from here too. Oh, the second night I found out, I was in the shower. I got out the shower, had a towel on me, and there was a guy that worked there that owned the place. And he comes in the room where I'm at, and all I have is this towel on. And I'm standing by the window. The window has burglar bars on it. And I asked him, "What are you doing here? Get out of here. You can't be in here." And he said, "This is my facility. This is my home. I do what I want." So he told me to drop the towel, and I was very confused. No, I'm not. I'm not going to drop my towel. So he asked me again. I refused. And the next thing you know, my head is in the burglar bars on the window. And he snatches my towel. At that point, I grew a hatred for men. I am 12 years old. I'm 12 years old. So the next day, I fixed them. I packed my clothes. I put it by the upstairs window. And then they used to let us smoke cigarettes. I'm 12 years old. They buying cigarettes for us in Child Protective Services. So I threw my clothes out the window, a little bag. And I went downstairs and I told them, I'm going outside to smoke a cigarette. I had just left a home where my dad was doing this to me. You think I'm going to let you do this to me? Sit here watch and fondle and play with me? I got out that door, picked my bag up, and I ran. 12 years old, I ran. Now, I'm on the north side. I'm originally from the south side. It took me 3 days. It took me 3 days to get back to the south side. I walked on the freeway. I slept at bus stops. I remember sitting at a bus stop and I was crying. And I am just a little girl. Why me? I'm just a little girl. I didn't understand. I wanted my mom. And in some twisted, sick way, I felt like, damn, I lost my safe haven with my dad, even though I was being molested. At least I knew him. Like, my mom was just like, I don't know. I didn't have people there to say, hey, that's not your fault. I didn't have people to say, hey, you're not dirty, you're not tainted, you're not wrong. So, I go home to my granny's house. I did not know that I couldn't go to my granny's house. Granny's afraid, so she calls the CPS people. They come and get me. They take me back to another facility. In this facility, it was okay for a little while. My auntie came and visited me a lot. I used to help out this blind girl, Claudia, a lot. I was always like the leader of the bunch, you know what I'm saying? I was a very strong girl. Still dating someone that I shouldn't be dating, trying to call them and reach them. 12 years old, they're 21 or going on 22. It was a pretty cool home. The ladies there were pretty sweet and nice. But I still missed my family. And I didn't know how to cope with that. And there were other girls in there that they were speaking up on running away. We all gonna run away. We gonna get out. We gonna go here. We gonna go there. So I figured I'd leave with them. I kept on getting myself in trouble. I left with them. We ended up with some guys. And we were at their house. Back then, that's when they were tricking girls to come into the home, and they would gang rape them. Oh, it wasn't happening that day with Unique, though. Yeah, I'm coming out windows. One of the girls there, she was gang raped. I got out that window and I ran, and I ran, and I ran. Life was hard. I remember I came across this limousine company, and I jumped the gate, and I broke into one of the limousines. They had champagne. One of the times I felt like I was kind of safe that night. I was all by myself. I had champagne glasses. I thought I was really doing something, you know. But I still ended up crying, you know, why am I here? No mom, no dad, nobody to protect me. I'm just a little fucking girl. The next day, I remember I'm on the north side at this time. I remember this guy, his name was Spark at the time. And he used to always watch me. And I never understood why this guy was watching me, but I was terrified, you know. I've been through enough with men. So he came on the block. He like, what you doing on this block, little mama? I'm 13 years old at this time. I'm trying to get it, you know what I'm saying? I need to buy me a cookie. I'm trying to sell dope. Out here running now, I'm looking like a little dykish boy, because I'm feeling like won't nobody mess with me if I look like a little dykish boy. So he watched me for about 3 or 4 days. And he was like, man, won't you come to the house, man? I look out for you. Come to my house and chill and shit, whatnot. You ain't got to be out here like that. I see you out here every day. So he had been watching me. Like, I see you out here every day. You come out here every morning and you doing the same thing. And he was like, but you ain't making no money. I was like, man, you going to sell me a cookie or what? So the nigga like, well, if you come with me, I'm gonna say you cook. I ain't coming with you, bro. I ain't coming with you, but I'm gonna need you to sell me a cookie if you got a cookie. So he noticed that he realized I wouldn't come on. He sold me the cookie. So 2 weeks go by, and he says, man, how old are you? He come shoot to me. How old are you? Told my son, 13 years old. He say, hell no, man. I knew you was just a baby. Man, I can't let you stay out here, man. I can't leave you out here. I can't leave you out here now another night. He was like, you ain't gonna come to my house. I'm gonna stay out here with you. He stayed out with me that first night. Went in the daytime. Came back, do whatever he do, come back the second night. I'm like, dawg, why this dude won't keep pressing me, man? This dude keep pressing me, making sure my money right. He was making sure wasn't nobody fucking with me. So I say, fuck it. I tell him, man, I'm gonna go to your house, man. Come on. He said, man, I got a surprise for you anyway. I was like, man, oh Lord, here this shit go. So, but I went. Something in my spirit said it was okay. But I was still terrified. I go into his apartment, and he takes me to this door, and he's like, open the door. And I'm here I go with my thoughts. Is this finna be a gang rape? What's finna go on? I open the door, and to my surprise, he had the room fixed up for a little girl. I can't say all men are bad because Spark was good to me. I had a very nice room. By the time I was 15 years old, hey man, I had racks on racks on racks. My brother was one of the biggest dope dealers on the north side. I had racks on racks. I had 4 cars. I was doing my damn thing. But then I still was feeling like I wasn't, that manipulation in me, I wasn't getting that out because that's already in me now. Don't forget that I'm telling you a story of how I learned how to manipulate me. I didn't manipulate that man. But I still had that in me. I need to manipulate. I don't know why. So there's this club called Fantasia off of Tidwell. I'm kicking it with this girl named Squeaky. She take me over there. I didn't need that money. I don't know, in some sick and twisted way, I guess I needed that type of attention. Because that's the type of attention I've always got from my dad. So I'm dancing in the club. At this time, I'm dating this guy. He's 37 years old. I'm 15 years old. My stepsister brings him to this club where I'm dancing at. This nigga flips. Whoa. Came in the club. I'm running. I'm in 6-inch heels. Just left the House of Brown. Got 22-inch hair down my back. I'm running. The nigga finally get me in the car. We riding down the street. My stepsister driving. She don't know how to drive, so she riding on the gas and the brake at the same time, so she fucked the car. So we riding down Tidwell, going 80. This nigga let her drive the car. Now he's driving with me in the car. So he not knowing that the brakes have already gotten fucked up. We're going down 80 Tidwell, no brakes, finna run a red light. I just knew we finna die. But he turns the car down a dead-end street. And all he keeps saying is, I'm gonna kill you, bitch. I'm gonna kill you, bitch. I'm gonna kill you, bitch. And I knew this nigga was serious. I'm gonna kill you, bitch. My sister, not knowing my sister already jumped out the car. She's pregnant. She's already jumped out the car on Tidwell. I jump out the car once I notice my sister not in the back. I'm screaming, nay, nay. I'm running. I'm kick them heels off. I'm running. This nigga steady trying to chase me to kick my ass. I finally get where my sister was. She's bleeding everywhere. She has a miscarriage. Woo, woo, woo. Go to the hospital with my sister. Get back. My stepmama's angry with me. I go back to my little spot. You know what I'm saying? Because through CPS, I'm supposed to be with my stepmom. But I'm not with my stepmom. I got my own shit. So I go back to the club 2-3 days later. I didn't even need the money, man. Sometimes we feel like we put ourselves in these situations. And sometimes we rightfully do, man. We do. I didn't need that money. I had money. I had dope money out the wazoo. I had 3 apartments, 4 cars. I didn't need that money. But I left with this Hispanic guy. I just want to manipulate him for his money. Sick and twisted, huh? That guy beat the brakes off of me. And he raped me about 3-4 times. And threw me in a ditch on Mesa Road. I was 15 years old. Was I angry? Oh, I was angry. More angry at myself. Oh. It's hard, guys. It's hard letting y'all in, but somebody needs to hear this story so that they won't put themselves in that position. I'm looking at today's society and the young women, and I don't know if they went through what I went through. And that's why they're doing the things that they're doing, that they're in the clubs, that they're manipulating men, that they're taught that get that bread, get that head, and leave. I've been through. But if you have, I want to share this with you. I ended back up in Child Protective Services from the hospital. But this time, there was sunshine. They took me to a home with a lady named Miss Pat. She had a daughter named Keisha. And she had 7 girls. I was one of her girls. Miss Pat is dead today. She rest her soul. But she took care of us. I can't tell you I don't know what love is. Because Miss Pat and Keisha showed me love. They showed all of us love. I kept wanting to be back in the streets selling my dope, where my money was, where my brother was. And I ran away again. This was like 3 or 4 years after I had stayed with Miss Pat. She took us everywhere. Strawberry festivals. The money she got for us, she spent on us. I was angry because I had left Miss Pat. And during the time that I had left Miss Pat, she was killed. Horrible. Another man, her daughter's baby daddy, came into the foster home, shot Miss Pat, killed her, shot Keisha, killed her, and took his 2 kids. Got halfway to Louisiana and killed himself with the babies in the backseat. I never forgave myself for leaving Miss Pat, because that was the best home I had, and I had never ran into another one, but I vowed never to go back into a home after that. She was good to me, and I miss her very much. I miss Keisha. She was a real sister. Then a lot of my family members really know what I was going through. No. I've been on my own in the streets since I was 12, in and out of Child Protective Services. Well, I get a call that my dad is sick. I still went to visit my dad. By this time, I'm in another relationship. Dad really doesn't approve of it because he grown like him. Why you mad? Because this grown man sleeping with me. You was sleeping with me. My dad didn't really approve of the relationship. I stayed with that guy and his people. I went through all kind of hell over there as well. But I stayed with this guy and his people, and one day he gets up, the guy I'm living with, and he tells me he's going to wash his clothes. And I'm staying with his guard people he know. He never comes back. 2 days go by, I'm calling his phone, no answer, no nothing. He went to wash clothes. The fuck? Then I get a call from my cousins and my stepsisters. Your dad died. I cursed that man out the last time I saw him because he didn't approve of the guy that I was with. I cursed him out, did all kind of things, said all kind of things. I felt so bad when they told me my dad died. Man, I was hurt. This guy that I love has disappeared. My dad's dead. I'm on my way to this hospital, and I'm knowing something ain't right. I get to the hospital. They say he's in a coma. I'm a very spiritual child. I knew his body was there, but his spirit was gone. That machine was making him breathe. And I told my grandmother that. Oh, wow. That was my grandmother's favorite boy, old June. I can remember at the funeral, this man hurt me so bad. But I was trying to go with him. I wanted my dad. And I still feel some type of way for wanting this man. Wanting my dad. Not wanting my dad to be dead. I love my dad. And I can't change that I loved my dad. Sick as he was, as twisted as he was, I loved my dad. I tried to get down there with him. I sure did. I tried to jump in that ground with him. Well, now I don't have my dad. CPS, you have no reason to hold me. Like I said, they released me to my stepmom. I'm supposed to be with her. I'm out doing my own thing, as usual. I'm sorry, guys. A lot of y'all don't want to do what I'm doing right now because you're afraid of the pain, and it hurts. The things that you couldn't deal with as a child, no one helped you deal with as a child. You're grown. You have no reason to still be suffering for it because you can go through the emotions, go through the pain, and learn. And be a better you. So now I'm living with my stepmom. But I'm not living with my stepmom. Still dating guys twice my age. I've been dating guys twice my age since I was 12 years old. Today, I'm no longer ashamed. Today, I don't. Society have a way of making you feel that if you didn't have a dad or a proper upbringing or mom, or you're a woman that's in this world with no dad, society have a way of making you think that you're damaged goods. For a long time, I thought I was just damaged goods. And I got into many relationships where I allowed myself to be verbally, mentally, and physically abused. Because at that point, I thought that was love. But it's not love. And a lot of us are living these lives thinking that staying with someone that verbally mistreats you, or staying with someone that physically beats you because he beats you, he loves you. That's not love. That's a sick and twisted relationship. That is not love at all. Again, this is Quarantine and Heal. And I think that I've helped someone so far. I'm going to end this right now so that I can deal with my emotions. But I encourage any woman that thinks she's damaged, that thinks she's no good, that she has to be this hood, hard, ghetto, roughneck chick to protect herself, because she never was protected. When you find who God is, you find who you are. And God is allowing me to heal. And I'm not going to use my platforms anymore to damage or hurt anybody else like I have been hurt. Because a lot of times we don't understand that we're angry, bitter, and hurt. And we live a life that angrily and bitterly hurts people. So I just want you guys to know this is not a pity story. This is a story of triumph. I don't look like what I've been through. And not everybody do I treat like what I've been through. But I have been horrible to a lot of men because I felt that they deserved it. And a lot of men didn't deserve to pay for what other people had done to me. So, Quarantine and Heal. I hope I've helped someone today. Yes, I will be back later. But now, I'm going to reflect on how I could just tell the world something I've been ashamed of almost my whole life. I'm not ashamed anymore. I'm actually happy that through all of that, I made it. So if I went through those things as a child, I refuse to let anything come into my grown life and break me. I am not a victim. I am not a victim. I am victorious. You guys have a great day.